I'm going to show you how you can save yourself days worth of work and give you a better way to manage your web application security. And it's only going to take you 15 minutes. It's called AuthorizationHub. It's an ASP.NET Core plugin that instantly fills the holes in Microsoft's story around authorization. Out of the box, web applications don't have a user interface to manage users and groups, so you have to write one on your own. There's no nested groups. Well, there's no groups. So people use roles as groups, and there's no notion of a tenant. So how does AuthorizationHub fix these problems? Well, it adds a user interface to manage users, groups, roles, and tenants. And more importantly, it allows you to create an organizational tree that can be transformed into user claims and used in authorization policies. Now, there's many great features, so I'm going to quickly run through them, and then we're going to give you a demo, and of course, it'll be less than 15 minutes. First off, AuthorizationHub will work with new or existing web applications. It doesn't require its own local server, and you could actually just run it in the cloud. You get to decide. It's not software as a service. There's no dependency on an external website. Authorization needs to be fast, so AuthorizationHub uses a middleware component in the ASP.NET Core pipeline that adds application-specific claims to the user. It also supports multiple database providers like Microsoft SQL, Postgres, and SQLite. And these options give you the ability to choose a database provider that fits with your existing databases and matches the performance profile of your application. It gives you a user interface because you have better things to do than to write another user interface. You just pick a route in your web application and we provide the UI. AuthorizationHub also supports nested groups, roles as job functions, and allows users to be part of multiple tenants. And even better, changes to the users can be scheduled before they need to take effect, and that means application administrators will spend less time doing data entry and they'll do it when they want. By now, I'm sure you're wondering what this all looks like. So let's add AuthorizationHub to a web application. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to go ahead and add our MVC application. And in this case, I'll just call it demo application. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to add some project references to some of the other projects that I've created for this. And when it gets released, we'll just go ahead and reference NuGet packages and include a licensing key. So that'll be a little bit different experience. But we also need to add some using statements. The first one is going to be AuthorizationHub, and that's actually going to load the extensions that create the middleware components that add the application-specific claims to the users when they have a request that gets processed. And we're going to use SQL Server in this case, so I'm going to go ahead and add some extension methods in for it. And then finally, I need to add the user interface extension methods in. So this will be providing us with a UI. All right, also going to need a constant for the configuration string that defines the database for AuthorizationHub. So we'll just create a default connection string name here. All right, that's taken care of. So now we can go on to adding some services in. And the first service that we're going to go ahead and add in is the AuthorizationHub endpoints. This is the REST endpoints that the user interface uses, and you can also use it as well for integration. And then we're going to go ahead and specify that we're going to use SQL Server for this. And so we need to specify where to get that configuration string from. Okay. And finally, we need to... So we're going to have some custom authorization requirements for roles and for groups, and you can use those authorization requirements as part of policies, or you can use them to decorate controller endpoints as well. Okay, now we can go ahead and actually add our Authorization Hub middleware, and we're going to go ahead and add in the UI as well. All right, that should pretty much do it. All right, so now we need to go look at that app config file and set the configuration settings for actually for the default database being used by this MVC web app. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use one that I've already got created with, it's called demo, and it's already got a couple of users in there so that I won't have to create them. And then I also need to add a connection string for AuthorizationHub. So let's do that now. All right, now we can go ahead and launch this, and let's log in as one of those users that I've already created. And you can see that it works. No big surprise here. But the big cool part is that you can go ahead and use the /AuthorizationHub-UI, and that will give you the user interface. So let's go ahead and let's start creating some data elements for our organizational tree. We'll start off by creating a tenant for, we'll call it Acme. And then we're going to go ahead and add an organization, and we'll call that organization marketing to represent our marketing department. And let's see, click the save button, and then we can go ahead and add a role. A role would be equivalent to a job function. And in this case, we'll just call this role marketing administrator. We can go ahead and add in a description and save. All right, and we're going to go ahead and add a person in. And we're going to add a person record for the user account that we have created for Cindy Chen. And I'm going to go ahead and plug in the external ID, and that's going to correlate to their ASP.NET user ID in the ASP.NET users table. And I'm going to make them a member of, actually I'm going to make marketing a member of Acme, the tenant, and then I'm going to go ahead and make the marketing administrator a member of the marketing department. And then I'm going to say that the marketing administrator has someone filling that role, and I'll just put in Cindy Chen. There we go. And now we have a organizational tree with a tenant, an organization, a role, and a user. All right, so now we need to go ahead and create a new controller endpoint for our marketing department so that we can test out some of these authorization requirements and policies, so we have something to build up against. And I'm just going to go ahead and create a new view for the marketing department, and I'm just going to copy the one from the home page. We'll just make this easy. We just need a way to validate that the right view is being displayed. All right, copy and paste. And we'll just change this from homepage to marketing page. Okay, that takes care of that. All right, now let's just make sure it works here. And if I go ahead and run this, I should be able to go to the marketing route. And there we go. I've got a marketing page. Okay, so now we can go into the marketing controller, and we can go ahead and add an authorize attribute. And in this case, I'm going to use the Authorization Hub party type of organization, and I'm specifying 92. 92 is the primary key for the organization in the database. I think I'll probably be changing that to external ID, or giving you the option at least. All right, so now if we go ahead and log in as Bailey Frank, this person is not a member of the marketing department, so I should get a access denied. There we go. Good, it works. But if I log in as Cindy Chen, she is filling the role of marketing administrator, so she should be part of the marketing department. And there we go. Now we can see the marketing page. So that's working nicely here for us. Now, obviously we're using an authorize attribute, a custom one, but we probably want to use authorization policies, and that's definitely the direction that Microsoft is directing people towards. So I've just gone ahead and created a policy called Marketing Administrator. And in this case, it's going to look to make sure that the person is filling the role of Marketing Administrator. And so in this case, I'm going to go ahead and add a marketing administration action on the controller, and I'm going to go ahead and specify that that policy needs to be fulfilled in order to view it. And if I go to Bailey Frank, which is not someone who has, or actually, no, we'll do Cindy Chen. She should be able to see it. All right, let's try this out. And there we go. Cindy Chen can see it, the marketing administration page, that where the requirement is that a marketing administrator is viewing it. But let's go ahead and make a change. Let's go ahead and add a person. Let's go ahead and add Bailey Frank. So we're going to add that person to the Authorization Hub database. And I'm going to fill in her, or this person's external ID. Save it. And then I need to add Bailey as a person who's filling that role. And you know what? Let's play with the from and to dates. Let's go ahead and say that Bailey doesn't start that role for a couple days. And so when we save this, you can see that it won't take effect until 9/4/24. And if we come back and we log in as Bailey Frank, the expectation is that Bailey won't be able to see that marketing administration page. So let's try it. There we go. Access denied. All right. What if we go back to the UI? Let's go open up that marketing administrator, and let's change the date that Bailey Frank is starting the relationship with the marketing administrator. And we'll set it to the 1st so that it will be active. And now when we go back to the marketing administrator page, get that typed in. Now you can see the marketing page. Works great. I hope this has given you an idea about how Authorization Hub works. The goal is to have a beta version ready January 1st and a full release soon thereafter. Of course, I'm looking for feedback, so please leave comments and share this video with your colleagues. And even more importantly, please visit AuthorizationHub.com and let me know that you want to take advantage of this software in the applications you're writing. I appreciate all of you, and thank you for listening.